So, I'd like to welcome everyone today to this meetup. So now I just want to invite Mr. Shivling. He has come down to this place all the way from Pune. He is our one of our 2021-22 candidate. Okay. He's going to share his journey, and what I'm going to do is I will be confronting him, or maybe I will be bringing some trigger to him so that to get most of them. Okay, so he is going to do that presentation. I would like to welcome. So he said that he has been from your transition is from the mechanical engineering, right? So, in what basis you made a search? First of all, you wanted to do transition to IT or something for code, right? On what basis you searched? On what basis you came to this conclusion? You had a phone call with me, right? On what basis you had the phone call? Just because your friend told, or to be honest, I had more of hunger into me for learning, or you can say so learning. What I'm asking is, why particularly DevOps? Okay, yeah. So I'll come to that one. So I have, like I rightly said, that I had hunger in me for pursuing my further education or dive deeper. So I wanted to learn something. I explored development. Being into IT, my sister is into IT too. I had a few conversations with her, got to know that development is also a good option to move into. I personally thought that I'm from a core mechanical background, gradually shifting to IT, and the graph should go on gradually. So I landed into support. Now I thought that still I had no experience of development till now. So what I thought was, let's start with testing. Then I gathered all the relevant information on YouTube, on blogs. I used to continuously like search on Google all the LinkedIn posts at that time. So when I had gone all through this, somehow testing and DevOps, there were two options into my bucket. What happened is exactly I did not get any mentor to select either of two. Why DevOps? Because as I said that I was continuously searching. DevOps also fit into it. So I was parallelly looking for DevOps field also. So I had to shortlist something out of all the five streams. Yeah. So now everything went down because development was too high for me to take it at that time. That's how I shortlisted two things, QA and DevOps. And when my friend suggested that you should try looking for courses like what you were at that time teaching, I got a very strong reference saying that, like you mentioned it, I believe Claude reviews said that we get organic teaching over there. So I wanted to have a quick word with you before joining, but in the first call itself, I got that impression that okay, means at least I can pursue DevOps, considering that I'm into the safe hands. So that is how I mostly landed into the DevOps. But testing, which I believe is also closely related to what development is, John. Yes. So DevSecOps is something a bridge between development and operations, right? As you have always rightly mentioned in each session that it is works as a binding agent between all the different bricks. So bricks of development, operations, and everything. So that is how I wanted to move to DevOps. 6 years before offline class around online. COVID, it is my first COVID. It was when he came. It was I mean there was a peak wave in COVID and all 2021 that time. Yeah. Did you enquire anywhere at that time around the time? No, but I was a bit skeptical because I am from a different state and hometown, and I had no direct reference over here, which can verify me. But the friend which had referred me, I believed into him, and that's how I was a bit confident that this will work. Because John, took almost, I believe, he's still not mentioning another 20 minutes. First of all, it was a 45 minutes. Somehow he just said 20 minutes. I remember it was a 45 minutes because I was totally non-technical and was very curious, but also bit nervous before moving. So wanted to make all my doubts clear. Those were not all technical. It was mostly about my fear of if I will land into DevOps or not, or how will the scope of class turn me into. So that is what it was mainly focused.
You are working almost 4 years, line experience, correct?
4.5.
Now they started AI and what do you think the next 5 years how will be DevOps?
Yeah, surely there is a good scope for DevOps, I believe. And what I have recently learned is after reading some blogs that irrespective of GenAI and all the moving trending technologies, now MLOps is also similar to DevOps. There are few alterations, I truly believe, but the core foundation is the same. So, a total elimination of DevOps is impossible, to be honest, because a developer cannot always have an operations mindset, and operations team can never have a development mindset. As you are likely working with a support team, you can relate to me like what I'm trying to, because DevOps is a binding agent which acquires knowledge from both the areas and try to implement it in their own way using automation. So that is something, if developer tries to working on automation, he'll never comply with the supports mindset or operations mindset, and vice versa. Operations cannot work on development. So that is one of my personal experience till now.
DevOps is going forward, it's part of example, currently we are doing release, correct, support. So in our organization we started release can do anytime. Example, containerization can upgrade anytime, correct? That's a benefit of that. Same thing, release also they can do at any time.
So doing release is the one part of DevOps lifecycle. It is not the only job, right? Creating that bridge or eliminating that rigorous physical everyday monotonous work into automation is what a DevOps engine itself. So release is one part of which we say part and parcel, which comes along with the DevOps activities, day-to-day activities. It is not the only. So the release on the pipelines which you are triggering, right? Those are built or those are created with huge understanding from DevOps.
So, you guys have heard something. So, questions to you because I am going to ask questions.
In DevOps, I have a 8-year experience in .NET. But
sorry,
.NET support role. But now I'm studying in DevOps. When I joined the job, the fresher condition or experience. How can you experience
apply? So irrespective of fresher or experience, what I believe is you should be able to answer or showcase your practical hands-on knowledge, which we are currently seeking into day-to-day sessions, right? So that you can be able to showcase what you have worked upon, what you have built upon, then you will be able to crack those, because that will directly relate and showcase your skill set. As a DevOps, I'll just tell you what technologies which I touch into day-to-day life. Mostly includes GitLab, Jenkins, part of Chef. Depending upon project deployment, Ansible. We also use Ab Initio for ETL deployments. So when I say Ab Initio code is based on Unix. So Unix comes into picture. We are also responsible for monitoring and also responsible for setting up alerts. Along with that, we are also responsible for any production in case issues are triggered. So these all technologies, I don't believe a single person can have. DevOps guy will touch everything into chunks, and gain that experience.
So you are touching upon app dynamic, Grafana, all that.
Yes. Prometheus is not applicable as of today, because it is but for AWS deployment. So we have our containers and services running on OpenShift, Red Hat OpenShift.
So we may have touching all the technology part of the but how much percentage you will be concerned on IAC, infrastructure as code? How much percentage you will be working on infrastructure as code?
Or major, when we say that we perform releases, right? And all the releases in the production, if you check into any organization, there are some governance angles. So production releases cannot be done manually. So, and those releases needs to be done automated way. So any cloud deployments, we have to do it using IAC, like cloud formation and HashiCorps.
So one-time setup. One-time setup.
Yes, it is a one-time setup, but there are upgrades which continuously you may see for a project coming in near future, like 6 months, 8 months. There are continuous, as per the business requirement, operations requirement. There are two changes which we need to do into infrastructure because all jobs doesn't go into first go live. There are parts and releases which we take depending upon the users getting onboarded with the scope of the application getting extended. So yeah, even though it is one time, but the setup itself takes a large amount of time. Till the time you have completed one setup, you will be touching up almost 4 to 5. So that is again good experience, I think.
Any other questions?
Sure. As you said, it's here. So you are from economic background, so you started the DevOps in 2021.
Bro, కొంచెం sound is bro and the mic. Like కొంచెం ఏడ్చింది sound you try to vocally be sound because it has to get recorded in the teams of people are.
So you have been mentioned you start DevOps course in 2021. Before that, you have no knowledge of IT, right? So you started Linux. So how do you start Linux? Now you are in expertise in Linux, right? So John channel while taking the session, you question more expertise how the accessibility will question, right? So how this was that mindset, how did you get that kind of thinking?
Okay. So before John introducing to Linux or Unix part, I have never tried any hands-on, or I have never had that platform to myself explore it on my account. When I opted in for the course and when that Linux Unix portion got touch base, simultaneously I used to look up for the relevant examples, real world examples. As in, what to give you one is the technology which John teaches, you can find for a relevant assignment into our class, which he gives mostly. If he doesn't, then I think we should opt in. But what I used to search is for relevant assignments to get on the Stack Overflow or these platforms and try to grab the concept from. Means mostly I used to write notes. So my basic used to get clear whenever I am stuck. I used to refer those my handwritten notes, and whenever the assignment comes in, I used to try to refer those notes and execute those. So I had shortlisted some topics into Unix then, depending upon the interviews I used to give, like what things in Unix they are touch basing, and that's how I listed out some questions. Or like they mostly used to ask, what do you know what is shell scripting? How does NFS storage works? And those all where do we need to make NFS storage entries for DevOps? Whatever the skill sets are required. What is batch shell? What is cron shell? So these type of questions used to be asked into interviews, and that's how I created my own list and notes. And I used to prepare for them.
Usually, how many hours you used to spend? Because you don't have job for 9 months, correct?
No, I was working.
So
So that is why there was a thing that where I mentioned that I was balancing and sacrificing. This one. I didn't cover it. Maybe that is the only reason you might have not.
So how many hours you used to spend after junction? Example, he is taking weekly. Oh, 5 hours means how many hours you spend it?
So for me, support role, what used to happen is most of the practice sessions I used to cover, which I used to go through the recording on critical topics, not all the part, because it becomes very difficult for me to understand. Then I can recollect it again because I was not from a technical background. So I used to only refer to the important terms which used to be asked to me in the interviews. Because due to COVID and there was massive hiring, so at least my resume used to get selected and I used to get interview questions a lot. Or else I used to get it from internet and outside world. So also if you now observe, John explicitly mentioned that this is the important part, and that used to get asked. So I used to learn those things in because my support task was not a tedious, to be very honest. So that is the only reason I wanted to upgrade. It was a monotonous job. So I had that time and I took leverage of that. And I used to study as it was work from home in my organization. Okay.
At least 2 hours per day or?
Depends. Sometimes it wouldn't be anything, but at weekends it would be long. So evening batches only, then I used to get training at morning. So I used to stretch that. But weekly I can say that other than 1 + 6 to 7 hours. 6 to 7.
So that's why I want to share you.
So you guys have right. So I have a questions against him. So I'll try to figure the question. If my question is not adequate, you can correct me. Okay. So now, Shivling, this great presentation. I'm not saying this namesake one. Whatever slides he has prepared, and I have seen him. I've discussed with him in the phone call. Maybe that was just 4 or 5 years back. He got transformed. And he has been in this kind of role for DevOps related roles for more than 4 years now. Okay. So at that time, when he was talking to me the first time, the fear, I think he has given the fear of judgment, right? Fear of judgment. So you guys now be able to see some kind of demonstration and transformation. So he is now a transformed product. Okay. So it's a kind of a transformation he has gone through. And we don't personally boast that it is because of us that, yes, so that usually other people put posters and banners, right? We don't do that culture. But what I am trying to say is, as he told that, I think, can you put that previous slide? That place where, the balancing time. So you see here, the balancing and sacrificing and giving that extra odd 2 hours of time. I think you can stand. So the extra odd 2 hours of time which he is putting is reaping that benefit. So it's not, yesterday also I told that I may be talking some 8 hours of time regular class and then we do some debugging. Almost we spend some 9 hours, nearly 9.5 hours. But in that 9.5 hours, it may look like you have learned something. At the end of the day, you did something, you got something, and but after the 10 days, after day 30, after day 40, do you really remember? But he told one important thing, which I usually, if you guys heard that, I show that whiteboarding. I tell people that the reason why we put more effort to make digital whiteboarding more clear and upload it to SharePoint so you guys download it. What is the reason for putting, I mean, for example, how many of you guys remember process management whiteboarding in the mind? At least you guys remember that. No, I'm talking about the whiteboard. that whiteboard alone, I have spent 1 hour of time to craft it from Evernote to this one. 1 hour, because the picture has to be very clear, the colors has to be clear. It's all produced, not ChatGPT content. Okay, so we put a lot of efforts in digital whiteboards because you cannot, as he told very clearly, that he has made his own notes, handwritten notes. So note making is a very important thing. One guy was about to speak, then he met with typhoid, so he couldn't able to come today. He created, so the same approach what Shivling has told, he created his own note set palette. So he was just mapping Kubernetes infrastructure as code with real-time pictures, and it was very beautiful notes. He made it with the Microsoft Studio app or something like that. And the criticality of note making is very much important for your career development because the notes helps you to recollect things even after 30 days, or even after 90 days, or even after 100 days. If you just see that picture, you will get what you have done at least. But technical things or commands you can't remember. You believe me that if you ask me that what is the command to write a Docker compose YAML structure to run that for particular multi, I can't write that. I usually have documentation of mine, and so never try to put the commands and templates and syntaxes into the mind. But what you have to put is the concepts through whiteboardings and note makings. So that helps you to, as he told very clearly, note making is one of the important things. At least you download what we give in the SharePoint. Make, for example, Linux, I think we have uploaded 6 parts totally. So maybe it will come, if you take a hardcore printout, it will be around 40-50 pages. You put a zip file to it. And what he has done, write your own notes on top of it. You just take a pencil and just write your own notes on top of it. And then if you feel that it is wrong, just erase it with rubber and then write the notes. But tomorrow, when you are going to go for an interview, as we said, my questions in the interview are from Linux. You know, even today also, some of our candidates who have been more successful, they didn't focus more on Kubernetes or Docker or Ansible or Chef or Jenkins or AWS. I've always insisted them to focus more on Linux. If you are getting more stronger and stronger in Linux, you can become more self-explorative. When he was doing the sessions, I do believe that I took very small portion of Ansible. I took Chef Elaborate, but I didn't take Ansible. Is that right? I still remember that. I didn't take Ansible Elaborate. Okay, so we thought that setup, John. Yeah. Also, that we didn't have that setup like what we are doing now. We have like for Chef, but Ansible we didn't have it. Yeah, we didn't have that, but he has done the self-exploration of it. I didn't do that. Even in the session we concentrated more on Chef automation. So the thing is, note making, as he said, putting that extra 2 hours of time. And I always request people that here, those who are in and around Chennai, at least when you have some time in the weekdays, at least 2 or 3 hours, do come with the laptop and see what is happening here. Just come and sit with us and try to understand what you are doing. And maybe you may get that 2 hours of time every week, 2 hours of time. So here you can see a lot of things. You can see how DevOps really integrates with the data engineering. We do a lot of things here. I will be taking it in the class. You will be seeing how generative AI integrates with the DevOps related things. You will be seeing how real hardware data center integrates with how we run a Spark, how we run a Kafka, how we run GenAI, how we run language model. So how infrastructures, whether it is virtual or hardware level infrastructure, integrates with these engineering domains you can see here. We will do something in the class, we focus on that, but apart from that, okay, all right. So what we are trying to cover in the syllabus is mostly 50 to 50% of what we actually do. But there's a rest of 50% which you guys can come, at least approaches. So you are exposed to some other thing which is apart from or beyond what we do in the course curriculum. Okay? So that's the first thing. So coming to you, it was very wonderful thing. The presentation. Well, I think he's now looking like a kind of a senior manager, and even put on some very
transformation included my weight journey.
And very mature talk, Shivling. It's I mean, I'm very much happy to see that. I think even today he landed, I mean, I think came to Chennai 7:30 airport and he requested in his friend's house and he came directly by 10:30. I said that I will be here by 10:30 for all the arrangements and all. So we had a lot of conversations today morning. So in those conversations, he didn't talk that he knows all these things. He was much humble and he didn't express that. And when I see this kind of a presentation by our candidates, and it is a great credit to us, okay, we really become more proud that we were able to, a person who does not know anything about IT, even a single Linux command, doesn't even know what is Linux at all. And he was through his own efforts and through his own personal efforts, okay, apart from the session, I may do all this clapping. So it's a rendu kai kattna vasa varum solluvaanga, oru kai kattna vasa varadu. So I can put all my 100%, but in the receiver, the person has to give that 30-40% at least. So he has done all his homework and that has finally paid off. So what you guys can take out of this, as I told, this is no more a technical session today. So what do you guys feel after this kind of a talk? So it's totally from non-IT and he has given this kind of a presentation and he asked a lot of questions you can see here. And he was able to answer the questions.
It's 4 years experience now.
Yes, that evolution and transformation I didn't do. He has personally put that effort and he got transformed. Okay. Now, what you guys feel about this? Is it possible in you? Just do you guys feel that some kind of, I mean, as I told, career switching is just a small part in life. Okay, I'm not going to focus on that. Do you guys say that, is there any possibility that you can do the transformation?
100%. Consistent effort, the days time difference will be individual.
Consistency. Consistency is the first thing. Maybe there will be some plus or minus delays. Okay, but consistent effort, note making, and spending the sacrifice of time has finally brought the result. And I do believe that, I mean, as I told when he was from the mechanical background and asking questions in Linux, I told before this introduction, the questions are way too mature. I really believe that how this guy he said that maybe he's lying to us or something like that. But actual fact is, his questions makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that is how I'm very much happy to see this kind of a presentation. I really want you guys to take this kind of inspiration in your life. And switching to DevSecOps or DevOps is a small part in life. But I told him today morning that we've had a conversation. So you have to become a leader. Okay, so you have all the capabilities. I do believe that you have all the physics also. And I don't have physics. Some of us here are that kind of physics. And if someone says that I'm a manager, means even my mates don't accept that. But you have all the capabilities and potential in this IT infrastructure engineering field. Next to focus that you have to become a leader. So next time when you go for, when you want to search to the next level, don't just restrict yourself with some small cybersecurity or some small DevOps or small things. Just try to go beyond that and become a leader in that field. Okay, so that 4 years of transformations we are able to see it here. And in another 3 or 4 years, again, when you come and give some kind of a presentation like this, when maybe God will create that opportunity. So I wanted to see that you guys become like a leader. Sure. Thanks for this. Thank you, everyone.
One more thing I would like to add. People who are still working into IT, like DBA and support and quality testing or any infra part, they have the closest I'll say chance to move to DevSecOps part because you are still very close to what you want to achieve. Other people, I'll say that you will have to work hard, but you will learn more than anyone. So that's it. All the best for everyone looking for the transformation. And in case of any talk required, I'm always available. John might be able to
You
share.
can take his number, is in our batch only. If you guys want to personally connect with him and want to get more idea, because that will be useful for him. So his number is just Shivling. Okay?
Have you attended any DevOps India events?
No, not yet.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Thank you.